Seniors, 3 vitamins that restore leg strength in days. Have you found yourself needing to push off your knees just to rise from your favorite armchair? Maybe climbing the stairs feels like carrying a heavy backpack you never packed. Or perhaps, without warning, your legs feel just a little less certain, like the ground beneath you isn't quite as steady as it used to be. These are the quiet moments we often brush aside. I'm just getting older, we tell ourselves. But deep down, something doesn't feel right. Something familiar, your legs, your strength, your sense of balance has slowly begun to slip away. It's not dramatic. It's not painful. Your independence, even your joy. But I've also seen how a few simple choices made at the right time can gently restore that strength and bring life back into each step. So today, let's take this walk together. In this video, I'll share with you 3 key nutrients that many of my patients have overlooked, yet they've made all the difference. Come along with me. You deserve to feel steady again. Section 1. When legs start to whisper. The quiet loss of strength. Have you ever noticed that you don't get up from your seat quite as easily as you used to? That gentle nudge with your hands on your knees, it might seem harmless. A small habit, but often, that's how it begins. Not with pain, not with a fall, but with a whisper. You see, the body doesn't always shout when something's wrong. Sometimes, it quietly adapts, compensating, adjusting, making do, until one day, even walking across the living room feels like a chore. That's when I often meet patients in my clinic, looking puzzled, even a little ashamed. I'm not sick, they tell me, just getting older, but what they're experiencing is more than age. It's a condition called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that begins as early as your 50s and speeds up after 60. It's not rare, it's not dramatic, but it is powerful. And it begins in the legs. Why the legs? Because they carry us. Every staircase, every step, every time we stand up, it's our legs that bear the load. And when they weaken, the effects ripple out. We lose our balance. We become hesitant. Sometimes we stop moving altogether. I remember a patient named Helen, 73 years old. She was active, even proud of doing her own grocery shopping. But one day she found herself sitting on the stairs, too tired to finish the climb. That moment shook her, not because of pain, but because she didn't recognize the body she'd lived in for decades. What I want you to know is this muscle loss isn't a sentence, it's a signal. And it's one we can respond to, with care, with attention, and with the right support. So before we rush to treatments or fear the worst, let's pause. Let's listen. If your legs have started to whisper, maybe it's time we heard them. Section 2. Vitamin D3. The light switch for your muscles. Imagine a dim room where everything you need is there, your favorite chair, your walking cane, your slippers, but you just can't see clearly. That's what your muscles feel like without vitamin D3. It's not that they're broken, it's that they're underpowered, waiting for someone to flip the switch. Vitamin D3 does more than help your bones absorb calcium. In truth, it's more like a master control panel for your entire musculoskeletal system. It helps your muscles contract. It supports balance. It keeps your nerves firing at the right speed. Without it, everything slows down. You don't just feel tired, you feel disconnected. After the age of 60, our bodies become far less efficient at making D3. Our skin thins. We spend less time outdoors. And our liver and kidneys, which help activate D3, don't work quite as fast as they used to. That's why so many older adults are deficient without even knowing it. I remember Mr. James, a retired mailman in his late 60s. He had always been strong and independent, but one day, he noticed his legs feeling like lead, especially in the mornings. We tested his vitamin D levels. They were far below normal. Within 2 weeks of correcting the deficiency, He told me something I won't forget. It feels like someone turned the lights back on. Scientific studies back this up. One study in the UK showed that seniors supplementing with just 800 IU of vitamin D3 daily had a 19% increase in leg strength within 5 days. Another found that low D3 levels raised fall risk by over 40%. But it's not just about numbers. It's about what happens in real life getting up without help, climbing stairs with ease, walking without fear of falling. So how much should you take? For most adults over 60, 800 to 2,000 IU daily is safe and effective. Take it in the morning, with a meal that includes healthy fats like eggs or salmon to help with absorption. Avoid taking it late in the day, it may disturb your sleep. Vitamin D3 isn't just a supplement, it's a switch, and once it's turned back on, you may be surprised at how strong your legs still are. Section 3. Vitamin B12, the messenger between brain and legs. Have you ever felt like your legs weren't quite listening to your brain? You wanted to move, but there was a delay, or worse, a sense of disconnection, that strange buzzing in your feet, the slight stumble, the hesitation when turning a corner. Those aren't just aging. They're signs that the messages aren't getting through. Vitamin B12 is what helps those messages travel. Think of B12 as the telephone line between your brain and your legs. It wraps your nerves in a protective layer called myelin, something like the insulation around electrical wires. When your B12 is low, those nerves become frayed. Signals slow down. Muscles misinterpret commands. And balance, once so automatic, becomes something you have to think about. Most people associate B12 with memory or energy, and yes, it helps with those too. But its role in movement, especially leg control, is often overlooked. And here's the hard truth: after 60, your ability to absorb B12 from food drops sharply. Your stomach produces less acid, and if you're taking antacids or diabetes medications like metformin, your absorption could be even lower. I recall a woman named Doris. She came in worried she was developing Parkinson's. Her gait was uneven, and she often felt lightheaded, but her brain scans were clear. What we found instead was a severe B12 deficiency. Within a month of treatment, she was walking confidently again, tears in her eyes. Studies confirm this pattern. Older adults with low B12 levels walk slower, have poorer balance, and face double the risk of falling. But supplementation can reverse many of these effects, sometimes within weeks. What's the best form? I usually recommend methylcobalamin, the active form your body can use immediately. A dose of 500 to 1,000 mcg daily is both safe and effective. You can take it under the tongue, as a chewable, or even as a spray. Just avoid coffee or tea during that time; they can block absorption. B12 is more than a brain vitamin. It's a balance vitamin. It helps you feel grounded, steady, and safe in your own body again. And that, my friend, is a gift worth restoring. Section 4. Vitamin B1, the spark plug for muscle energy. Let's say your muscles are working, your nerves are connected, but something still feels off, like you're moving in slow motion. Your legs feel heavy, tired, and out of gas, even after walking just a short distance. That's when I start to think about vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Vitamin B1 is the quiet powerhouse behind your energy metabolism. Think of it as the spark plug in an old, reliable car. Without it, even the best-built engine won't start. It doesn't matter how strong your muscles are or how sharp your nerves; if they don't have energy, they won't go far. As we get older, our ability to absorb B1 naturally declines. And if you're taking common medications like diuretics for high blood pressure or metformin for diabetes, your thiamine levels may already be running low. Even small amounts of alcohol, like a nightly glass of wine, can interfere with how your body processes B1. I remember Mr. Carlson, a soft-spoken gentleman in his early 70s. He came in feeling just tired all the time. No heart issues, no anemia. But he said, "Doctor, my legs feel like they belong to someone else." We tested his vitamin B1 and found it was barely detectable. After just 1 week of supplementing, his energy came back. He smiled and said, "It feels like my legs woke up." The symptoms of low B1 are subtle but real: cramps in the calves, breathlessness when climbing stairs, dizziness when standing, and a general reluctance to move. Some people even mistake it for depression. But often, it's just that their muscles are running on empty. Research supports this too. In one Japanese study, seniors who supplemented with B1 reported improved walking distance, reduced fatigue, and better stair climbing ability after just 7 days. So how much do you need? Supplements. And to be honest, I wish the answer were always yes. But after decades of caring for older adults, I've learned that the story is more complicated. You see, even if your diet is well balanced, if you eat leafy greens, lean proteins, whole grains, your body after 60 may not be absorbing nutrients the way it used to. Stomach acid, which helps break down food and release key vitamins like B12 and B1, naturally declines with age. The gut lining changes too, making absorption slower, less efficient, and then there are medications, antacids, diuretics, diabetes drugs that interfere even more. I once worked with a woman named Elaine, 68 years old, who followed every nutrition book to the letter. She made green smoothies, cooked her own meals, rarely ate sugar, and yet she came in with fatigue, balance trouble, and unexplained leg cramps. We checked her levels low in all 3 key vitamins: D3, B12, and B1. Despite eating perfectly, her body simply wasn't keeping up. There's also a practical side. To get just 1,000 IU of vitamin D3 from food, for example, you'd need to eat a full serving of fatty fish daily, plus fortified milk and eggs. For B12, you'd need beef liver regularly. For B1, whole grains and legumes several times a day. It's not impossible, but for many older adults with smaller appetites or dental challenges, it's unrealistic. And here's what's at stake if these small deficiencies go unchecked. They can gradually lead to muscle loss, balance problems, and loss of independence. So no diet alone is often not enough. But the good news is, with gentle, thoughtful supplementation, we can help restore what time has slowly taken away. This isn't about taking pills for the sake of pills. It's about giving your body the building blocks it needs to stay upright, to keep moving, and to feel like yourself again. Section 6. A gentle daily routine for stronger legs. One of the most comforting things I've learned in medicine is that healing doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it begins with small, steady routines, the kind you can do every day without stress. And when it comes to restoring strength in your legs, that routine starts with how you nourish your body from the moment you wake up. Let me share with you a simple morning and midday plan I often recommend to my older patients. It's not fancy, not expensive, just consistent and designed with your body's rhythm in mind. Start your day with a warm breakfast, something gentle but rich in healthy fats. For example, 1 boiled egg, a small bowl of Greek yogurt, and a piece of whole grain toast. With this meal, take your vitamin D3 anywhere between 800 to 2,000 IU, as discussed earlier. Remember, D3 is fat soluble, so pairing it with food helps it absorb more effectively. Around lunchtime, after a nourishing meal, perhaps some grilled salmon or tofu with steamed vegetables and brown rice, take your vitamin B12. A sublingual lozenge or spray works well. Try to avoid coffee or black tea right before or after, as they can reduce absorption. Now, back to the morning. Vitamin B1, your energy spark, works best early in the day. Take it alongside your D3, ideally with food that contains a little protein or healthy fat. If you feel more energized and alert through the day, that's your body saying thank you. One thing I always stress: don't take these vitamins on an empty stomach. Your body needs a little support to use them wisely. And try not to combine them with stimulants like caffeine or alcohol. Let the nutrients do their work undisturbed. If you're already taking a multivitamin, check the label closely. Many senior formulas don't include these nutrients in the right amounts, or they blend them in ways that aren't easily absorbed. You may still need separate supplements for better effect. Think of this not as a routine of restriction, but as a quiet ceremony of care, 3 small gifts to your body, every single day. Section 7. What happens if you ignore the signs? There's a moment, often years after the first whisper of fatigue, when an older adult looks up and realizes they're no longer moving the way they used to. And it didn't happen overnight. It was a slow fade, a missed step here, a hesitation there, a reliance on the handrail that turned into a dependence on a walker. I've seen it many times. Good people, thoughtful people, people who didn't ignore their health but who didn't recognize these early signs for what they were. Because leg weakness doesn't knock on the door with sirens, it arrives quietly through low vitamin levels, tired muscles, and silent nerves. I remember Harold, a retired carpenter in his early 70s. He came into my clinic after a minor fall in his garden. "Doc," he said, "I've built houses. But lately, I feel like I can't even trust my own legs." He hadn't changed his diet. He wasn't on new medications. But he had been feeling off for months, tired, unsteady, uninterested in walks he once loved. His vitamin levels told the rest of the story low. D3 low, B12 low, B1. We started gentle supplementation. In 6 weeks, he came back walking taller. And this time he said, "I feel like I've come home to myself." But not everyone catches it in time. Ignoring these signs can lead to more than just tired legs. It can lead to serious falls, fractures, hospital stays, and a loss of independence. And with each setback, confidence erodes. Movement becomes feared, not embraced. The tragedy is that much of this is preventable. So if you've noticed changes, if stairs feel harder, or if your legs get tired after just a short walk, don't brush it off. These small signals are your body's early warning system, and they're asking for support. The path forward doesn't require drastic change, just awareness, small corrections, and the willingness to nourish your body with what it quietly needs. Because strength, once lost, is harder to regain but never impossible. Section 8. Safety first, how to supplement wisely. When it comes to vitamins, more isn't always better. In fact, one of the most important lessons I teach my patients is that even the gentlest remedy, taken carelessly, can become a burden on the body. Especially after 60, when the kidneys and liver work a little slower and the body's filters aren't quite as sharp. Let's take vitamin D3, for instance. It's fat-soluble, meaning it gets stored in the body rather than flushed out like some other vitamins. Over time, if you take too much, say, more than 4,000 IU daily without medical guidance, it can raise calcium levels too high. That can lead to nausea, constipation, kidney stones, or even confusion. B12 and B1, on the other hand, are water-soluble and generally very safe. Your body excretes what it doesn't use. But that doesn't mean you should take 5 times the needed dose just in case. When in doubt, simplicity and moderation are your allies. Another concern: medications. If you're managing chronic conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, some vitamins can interact with your prescriptions or overwhelm weakened systems. That's why I always advise checking with your doctor before starting anything new, even if it's sold over the counter. And finally, keep an eye on how you feel. Sometimes early side effects of oversupplementation are subtle: a headache that lingers, a twitch in the muscles, a loss of appetite that crept in slowly. Don't dismiss these changes. Your body speaks in whispers, not shouts. The good news: With regular blood tests once or twice a year, you can monitor your vitamin levels and adjust as needed. Think of it as tuning a musical instrument, the right tension, the right tone, nothing more. You're not chasing perfection. You're caring, listening, and respecting the quiet wisdom of your body. Section 9. It's not just vitamins. It's taking back control. There's something profoundly human about standing tall, walking freely, and trusting your own two legs. It's more than movement, it's dignity. And for many older adults, when that strength begins to fade, it's not just the body that feels it, it's the spirit. That's why these three vitamins, D3, B12, and B1, matter so deeply. They're not just nutrients, they're quiet allies in your journey to hold on, listening to the body, nourishing it with what it needs, and honoring its pace. So if you've been feeling distant from your own strength, disconnected, tired, unsure, know this: it's not your fault, and it's not too late. Your body is still listening. You just have to speak its language again. If your legs have felt weaker lately, if you've hesitated at the stairs, or caught yourself holding on to furniture just a little more than usual, please know it's not just age, and it's certainly not your fault. What we've talked about today isn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It's something deeper, a gentle reminder that your body, even now, has the potential to restore itself. That strength hasn't left you. It's simply been waiting for the right support. Vitamin D3, B12, and B1 are not glamorous. They don't make headlines, but in the quiet world of the human body, they work like trusted companions, reconnecting you with your balance, your movement, your peace of mind. They're part of a deeper rhythm, one that helps you move through your days, not with fear, but with ease. So if anything in this video has resonated with you, if you've remembered a recent stumble, or felt a quiet fatigue that didn't quite make sense, please take it as an invitation. Check your levels, start small. Ask questions. Let your healing begin, not with urgency, but with understanding. You don't need to change everything. Just begin with one thoughtful step. And if you found this helpful, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Maybe a friend, a spouse, a neighbor who hasn't felt like themselves lately. And if you've had your own experience with these vitamins, something that helped, something you noticed, I welcome you to share in the comments. Your story might be the very thing someone else needs to keep moving forward. Take care of yourself, nourish your legs, and remember, strength returns, one quiet step at a time.